Okay, so this is the video on bullish trend lines. This is the price action basics course for Satoshi Trading. My name is Mike and I am the owner of Satoshi Trading. This is going to be an introduction into bullish trend lines for a concept of trend analysis is trend lines. It's an important way of trading for most people that do use trend lines as an entry and exit method, and it forms a basis of predicting certain market behaviors. Identification is the points in the low areas. So you need to have at least two significant low points or troughs in the price chart. These should ideally present the lowest point reached before the price moved upwards again. So over here was the creation of the trend line. We moved in, touched it once, came up, come down, touched it again, came back, touched it again, and then broke out of this area here to the upside. We then came to the top, came back down, nearly touched, come back up, came back down, just went under, touched again, and then went off and created a really big move, again taking the high out. So you can see that not every single one of them works the way you want it to work. You have to wait for that to be the right one for you. And as long as this holds, it's okay to go into the market, which I'll explain how to enter and exit at the end of the course and show you how to use this properly as a trading method. But you can see that the lines respected every time it's touched that I've drawn off for you. When you connect the lows, you can see each time I put a circle on each one now and it's connected them all. You have to have the trend line that connects in the low points. In an ideal scenario, the line should connect at least 3 lows to be considered valid, with each low being higher than the previous one. Okay. The slope. I've drawn a slope on here for you so you can clearly see there's a slope on it. The slope of the trend line should be upward. That indicates that the price is making higher lows, which is a classic sign of a bullish market. Support level. In an uptrend, the bullish trend line acts as a support level. Price often bounces off the line and reinforces the trend. Traders might look for buying opportunities each time the price touches the trend line. Confirmation of a trend. A bullish trend confirms that the market is in an uptrend. So a trend line will help you to make sure you've got confidence to show that it is confirmed as an uptrend. The longer that a trend line remains intact, the more times it's tested without being broken, the stronger the uptrend is considered. Trend strength. So the higher this, the stronger it is. The flatter it is, the less aggressive it is towards the upside. So how would you buy? If I was scalping, these would be the entry points for me to take a trade. That would have been 3 trades in a space of 3 days. So 1 a day, 2 on this day, so maybe, and then you've got this one here where the pullback came back. You had to wait for it to test, and then I would have gone on this one here. So common strategy is to buy when it touches or approaches the trend line and shows signs of bouncing back up. Stop loss. Placing stop loss orders just below the trend line can help you manage risk, as well as break below the trend line, which will indicate a trend change. So as long as it doesn't break this line, you put the stop loss underneath the low previously to you, and you take the trade upwards. As you can see, I'm clearly putting it underneath the lows previous to it on the left. So some limitations with bullish trend lines. Drawing trend lines can be somewhat subjective. Different traders might interpret the starting and ending points of the trend line, which means you might not have the right start and end point, meaning that you won't have the right areas to be able to get into the market correctly. As well as that, with trend lines, you do get a lot of false breaks. It's where smart money like to trap people. If they're going to break it below, sometimes, and I have a market maker playbook that actually thrives on these opportunities. That's the reason why I don't really use trend lines as much as I use the playbook, but I do use trend lines on a longer time, higher time frame, so that I can have a look where the trend would bounce if I was to look for an opportunity to the upside to give me confidence to take the trade on the higher time frame to hold it as like a spot buy instead of doing leverage. There's a lot of false breakouts with trend lines. You've got to make sure that it wasn't just a quick breakout or chance for it to reverse, which will obviously lead to it being a false signal. As well as that, it is a lagging indicator. So, like all technical analysis tools, trend lines are based on past price data and it can't predict the future price movements with certainty. So, that could be something that could be a problem with people using trend lines. So, bullish trend lines are a fundamental part of technical analysis, particularly useful in confirming the trend is uptrend. However, they should be used cautiously, considering with their limitations and ideally in conjunction with other analysis methods for the best results. So this is Bullish Trendlines. This is Satoshi Trading and our price action basics course. I'll see you on the next video.